Hey gang, Jamie Aston. I guess I'm doing another cooler introduction. Some new gear. Just picked it up. It's a Stanley Adventure Cooler 16 quarts. Why did I get this one and not a Pelican or even a Yeti? Got this Stanley Adventure Cooler. If you all seen my previous videos, it's probably one of my highest watch videos is the new gear Pelican 35 quart. A lot of people seem to like that cooler, and like my introduction of it. I don't really review it, so I'm not even going to review this one. But I'm going to tell you why I bought this one and seeing if it'll do just as well, and see if I can recommend this in the future. Now, one of the first things about it, of course, if we're going to hit it up and you're going to talk about Pelican or Yeti coolers, you're going to talk about the price. So I picked this one up at REI for $70. $70 for a 16 quart cooler. You say that's crazy, you know. And I would too, until you all saw my video for the Pelican, the 35 quart. I only paid $125 on it. It retails for a lot more, so I got a screaming deal on that cooler. But that cooler is just rather large for a lot of the application I use, and sometimes I just need ice for a day or two. So I really needed a smaller cooler. What prompted me to get this size cooler and ultimately to even consider the 20 quart Pelican or Yeti coolers, or even Grizzly. I looked at all the manufacturers actually, and a lot of times when I go fishing I use a cooler bag. Well, one of the last videos you all saw with the catfish, I had a cooler bag, and those catfish tore those things up. You know, their spines and everything, so I need something a little more rigid to get my fish home. So I need a cooler. I've been looking and looking and looking for a Pelican 20 quart, but I really only want to pay around $150, max $200. There were some on Amazon I could get for around $200, so but I still just couldn't justify it. Even though I know it's going to be a lifetimer, the thing is, it is a little bigger and things like that. So let's talk about this cooler. It's 20 quart, it was $70. Outside of that, this thing is put together in multiple pieces, little latches, like a lot of the coolers, a lot of the parts. And the problem with that multi-process setup, multi-part rivets and such, is that those are the parts that break. That's where at least Yeti and Pelican and Grizzly, they have it together. They use solid pieces that just aren't going to break. But, you know, this one has a lifetime warranty. That's what got me really to get this cooler. If I'm going to pay $70 for something that really, it could be an Island Breeze or something for $16 like the one I bought in Arkansas that worked, why not just pay $16 versus $70? But if this one is really going to last longer and it's going to have that warranty, I will put it to the test. But I do have some place that I think is going to fail on, you know. Another thing, if we take a look at the top, it has bungee tie down. I love that. I can put this on the back of the kayak and actually use it for something else. One of the features it taught about is you can use this cooler as a seat. Duh. I think you can use almost any cooler for a seat, but they use it as a feature. Alright, so let's open it up. It's fairly easy to open up. Oh, what's that? It's a seal. So this thing has a seal on it. That's a feature you wouldn't get on things like the Island Breeze and other little small coolers, personal coolers. You don't always get a seal. That's a good thing. So this one is going to keep everything a little bit cooler and not let a lot of the air and everything get out. That's what it looks like inside of it. I already have a little ice in it, some waters and such. Now, one of the things I really like about this cooler is that it fits into my refrigerator. And the problem with a lot of times, I don't care what brand cooler it is, a lot of times people blame the cooler for being poor. is because they use a hot cooler and they put cold contents in and expect them to be cold. You should pre-chill your cooler, whether it's going to be with ice or like this one. I can put this in the refrigerator, so I keep this in the refrigerator. That's why I used to do my I used to keep my cooler bags in the refrigerator and keep bait and everything in there until it's time to go. So this one will now live in the refrigerator, always chilled, always ready to go. So that's a cool thing. Let's look at some, just a place where I think can fail. Okay, these hinges, they're put down by rivets. I'm not 100% confident in them. It has a stop place, so the cooler can't go too much further than that. So I hope that these pieces don't break. Second thing, fit and finish, and just the whole process of using 2 different materials, slapping some foam in between it, and then putting it together. That's how all the other coolers, Igloo and Coleman, everyone does it. And that's also why they eventually fail. You know, it's just poor. I wish more companies, if Stanley, especially Stanley, if they would go to a process similar to Pelican and can keep it into this price point where we can have a full pin going through the hinges, hinges actually mold into the lid, into the body. I'm telling you, Stanley, this would be a winner. This personal cooler would be a winner if you would do that. But this whole multi-piece process is a problem. So these are put on by rivets as well. You know, you can actually do any combination to get the strap to work. So if you have something to put on there, you know, it just unwinds. That's really neat. I love this. Probably the last thing is that something you see. I'm going to talk about the Pelican. I'm going to talk about the Yeti when it comes to the handle. The Pelican's handle is built into the lid, and so when you open it up, it locks into place, and it's only on the lid. So only way you use the handle on the Pelican is when the lid is closed and locked down. Yeti has a handle that's built into the body. It's this super huge handle hanging off the side, and it's metal or some type of steel or aluminum. And both have their pros and their cons, you know. I'd still dig the Pelican more because the handle is the same size as the lid. So when the handle is flush, you don't have some big obtrusive metal hanging off the side getting in the way. In my kayak, that would just be a no-no. So that would be one of the, that's actually one of the reasons why I don't want the Yeti outside the price. I want the Pelican cooler. Let's take a look. The Stanley handle, multi-part, which I don't like. And it screws in at the top right here, and then it's on these little flimsy pieces right here. Now, I read some reviews where some people said theirs broke in 24 hours, things like that. There was one review on REI where it says this molding, the outside molding came apart, completely apart. But Stanley replied to that customer and said, hey, you got a lemon, we'll take care of you. So I believe in this. Outside of all of the issues that I think could be a problem, I have not run into any of them. I've only used it once. So I'm going to keep this cooler. I think it's worth it. For a personal cooler, you know, it does have, the foam is actually really good. Foam, lid, and body. Not only that, it has a sealed gasket to not let air get out, so it will keep the ice for over a day, and it will keep cool for even longer. Just keeping cool. I think this cooler is worth my time to investigate and try out, just because it does fit my kayak. It fits into my refrigerator. It has all of the features that I need. In fact, I mean, one of the things I really like probably about it, and its biggest pro, is this bungee at the top. To other cooler manufacturers, Stanley included. Stanley, like I said, if you really want this cooler to be a winner, if you could totally revamp your process on making this cooler to where it's a solid piece, much stronger hinge, better handle, this cooler would outbeat, you know, those other premium coolers, hands down. Number two, to the rest of you coolers, I like to fish on my kayak. If I drill into this thing, of course, it's going to void my warranty. I would love to be able to have some type of a cage or mounting solutions. If you all, somebody get smart, yak gear, ram mounts. Scotty even has these rails. If you all could just go ahead and put a slot on these coolers with those rails, put the rail on the cooler, just put them on the cooler. That will give people options to start mounting anything on here, and it would not void the warranty. And that would be a benefit to a lot of people, not just kayak users. You could really customize your cooler to have whatever that you wanted on there without voiding the warranty. Now, that is an idea I'm going to pass on to somebody, and whoever does that, I mean, I'll send me a doggone product to review it. Do something. Anywho, hope you all enjoy it. I'm heading out to the water right now. Hopefully we'll not only have some food and lunch in this thing, but we will have some fish on the way back.